Hello Libra, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing our August 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what do we need to know for the sign of Libra? What's going on for you? We have the Devil. Okay. So being bound to something right here is some sort of contractual obligation where it's not feeling very good, okay? What you have to understand is that sometimes you do feel the flames of hell when you're contracted to the devil, all right? When you sign a contract, this can be represented by anything within your life. Say, for example, you make a contract to buy a house. Well, you miss a couple of payments on that house because you got sick, because you lost your job, whatever. What happens? The bank doesn't care. Government doesn't really care. Yes, there's loan forgiveness, whatever. However, it can still ding your credit history, all right? There's still that negative side. As long as you're paying, as long as you're, making your payments on time, whatever, everything's good. But the moment you miss one. So when I see this devil energy, it's like, pay attention to anything that you sign, anything that contractually obligates you to another person or another thing, all right? Understand that the devil is also a lustful spirit. You might actually feel this really intense desire to move towards something, and it might shake your foundation. But here's the thing, that's lust. It's not actually who you are. Think about who you are as a person, Libra. You tend to be pretty balanced, right? Weigh the pros and cons, try to live life carefree. But here's the thing. With the devil, it's bad. But you're like, your scales have been tipped like this, and you're saying, well, no, I'm going to try to make the scales fit the way that I want them to. But here's the thing, Libra. You can't do that. On the grand scales of karma, you cannot do that. All right, it hits you more than it hits anyone else. So by trying to make something good when it's not, that's something that you have to learn is actually very bad. And that's what you need to shy away from doing. Understanding the truth behind these spirits, understanding the truth behind the devil. What was the devil? It was the spirit of Pan, a sexual demon. Or it was a sexual god at one point, and then Christians took the god and said, anything that's trickster and represents, sex and drinking, it's of the devil, and they turned it into a demon. So when I see the devil right here, it does have different roots. However, what the roots are based on morality, okay? And you have to understand, do these things actually align with your moral ground? And if they don't, then try to see things from a different perspective right here. Maybe you are actually chained to the devil or to a devil. So let me get you 3 cards from the Revelation Tarot. This deck does have reversals. Let me get you one more shuffle. What do we need to know about this devil energy for the sign of Libra? What's going on for you? So we have the 5 of Pentacles, you have the Hermit, and you have the Hanged Man. What you have to understand right here, Libra, is the devil doesn't own anything, okay? Not even this world. It did say God would give the devil this world for a time, but the key words being for a time, all right? It's not that he's giving it to the world permanently. So the devil does have to return everything eventually. And because it's on loan, if the devil is on loan this world and then he loans you something, well, when God wants it back, it rips it from your hands, right? So with this 5 of Pentacles energy, what I'm seeing with this is that it represents poverty. It represents you not actually owning something right here. It represents you do not have the keys and the access to something. You wanted happiness. Well, it gave you a form of happiness, but it's actually lackluster. You wanted a form of wealth. It gave you wealth, but it's not something that's sustainable. With this Hermit energy, it's saying that you have some sort of illumination, but the illumination is lackluster. Okay? You're seeing that something right here is not all it's cracked up to be. You're saying that the 5 of Pentacles is a form of poverty because the devil doesn't actually own anything. So with this Hanged Man, see things from a higher perspective right here. Be illuminated. Be capable of seeing what the toxic traits are to this devil. What could it do to you? How could it hurt you? You really wanted something to work out for you, and you're really trying to force it to work, but is it going to in the long run, or is it going to leave you feeling impoverished? Try to see things 10 years down the line. Try to see it from a higher perspective. Was this built on a solid foundation, or was this something that you just wished for and you desired and you lusted for? So let's look at this Five of Pentacles energy. We have the Justice with the Hanged Man right here. You know, with your card coming out, to balance out the Hanged Man, you have to have balance right here, seeing things from a higher perspective. Was it actually really good for you? Now, there are contracts, some of them are good, some of them are not. All right, marriage is a contract, houses are contracts, cars are contracts, whatever. It represents also kind of like being legally bound to something with the Justice energy. You have the Nine of Pentacles with the Emperor. You were hoping that this would give you some sort of like Emperor-like status. You're hoping that it would allow you to build something for yourself, like this garden for yourself. But I don't know if it's really working out for you with this Five of Pentacles energy. Maybe for a time period you felt happy, and maybe, here's the thing. For example, when you grow up with nothing, and the devil's like, oh, I can give you something, I can help you live deliciously or whatever, he doesn't really give you that much stuff, right? He just gives you the things that make you feel comfortable, the things you've never had, maybe you've never felt comfort. But you're sitting there thinking that you're a king and a queen because you have the comfortable items, and then you're realizing, hey, this is not exactly what I wanted. I wanted, like, the lap of luxury, but I'm just getting the lap of comfort. I'm just getting the bare minimum. That's what you're starting to wake up to. The Hermit, Six of Swords, and the Four of Swords, mentally moving away from this to go into some sort of resting period. Okay, Libra? You have to understand that for yourself. You need to go into a resting period to really reflect and think about situations in your life. Hanged Man, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. You're starting to realize that anything that's built off an emotion is actually giving you some sort of anxiety. Because here's the thing, the Ace of Cups is an emotional fulfilling card. It's not meant for it to last forever. Some people do get eternal love. Some people do get, eternal bliss and happiness. However, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. For example, there are some people on, say, social media or whatever. They always post about their relationships. They're super happy, they have the nice house, but then it can all eventually fall apart. All of a sudden you realize that they're in super amounts of debt. Someone's cheating on someone, everything falls apart. It happens to celebrities all the time, and everyone, dotes and fawns, and it's like, oh my gosh, I would, sometimes they even say, I'd sell my soul to have what they have. Would you really, though? You're starting to realize that that's the anxiety right there. King of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. These kings actually have a lot of backstabbing energy behind them. They're always hiding something, always trying to get away with something. Always, trying to one-up the competition. And that's the thing, is it's like the whole goal of these social media things, the whole goal is to make you feel lackluster, to be like them, okay? You're realizing chasing this cup right here is putting you in the anxiety-ridden moments. You're chasing feelings, not chasing solid beliefs. And Libra, you have to chase solid things, okay? I know that you're an air sign, but you're represented by the scales. And what are the scales? They're a solid object, inanimate object. And then you put things that are solid on both sides to balance things out. You still need to live in like a base reality, Libra. It's funny because Leo and Libra are actually some of the most connected signs, because Libra balances out good and it balances out death, right? And it can also balance out Capricorn as well. So death or the devil. And then you have Leo, which is kind of like the sun, or in some instances like God, right? So Libra is like this divine neutral party that sits at the balance of both. And you try to lead people to divine justice, and you try to lead people to like the sunlight and illumination. However, sometimes it can't be. And you have to be the most balanced when it comes to that, Libra. You have to see things from both sides of the spectrum. And you have to have the one with the most discernment, because you're the one costing justice for people. You're the one that's ruled by justice, ruled by the scales of Themis, ruled by the scales of Dike, her daughter. So of all people who should have discernment, and very good discernment, that would be the judge of the zodiac, you, right? Queen of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. So with the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, what I'm seeing for you is that you need to start focusing on the material wealth. How can you make yourself abundant? How can you turn the wheel of fortune to fit you? All right? Because sometimes you're on in an eternal loop of failure. And sometimes you need to get off the wheel of fortune and let that cycle pass you by so that way you can start a new cycle. That's what I'm seeing for you right here, is that you're realizing that for yourself. You're realizing that money and status and material things do help. However, it does come at the cost of you having to get off of these emotional cycles and putting in more hard work for you. Focusing on you. This could be representation of you even as the Queen of Wands trying to give away your pentacles in hopes that the Wheel of Fortune caters to you. Kind of like a lottery thing. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Queen of Wands is represented by a witch, and so you might be actually taking some of your skills, your abilities, whatever, and hoping that this is the next chance. This is the time you're going to strike, the jackpot. Maybe that's what the problem is for you, Libra, is that you're giving into the wheel of fate right here and not to the wheel of, discernment and logic. It's okay to leave things up to fate and chance, but I don't think it's okay for you to do so as much as other signs. And I kind of feel like you're giving away what you have to the wheel of fates and fortune right here, hoping that something works out for you. Something will spin in your favor. You're hoping that the lottery spins you to this Ace of Cups right here. And that's what's keeping you awake at night. You're comparing yourself, wondering why you can't have these things, but it's like the King of Cups. You're wanting to know why you can't have what the King of Cups has, because here's the thing. This is all mental energy right here. Getting away, one-upping the competition, trying to get more views, trying to get whatever. They don't really care about anything else. They care about their business. And, being in a relationship sometimes, and, the social media, it's literally a business. They don't care about one another sometimes. They just want to make money. So don't base your entire life off of other people's perspective, all right? Yeah, the Five of Cups leaving you lackluster, leaving you unfulfilled, wondering why you can't have this fantasy. Well, are you trying to make a business out of love or with anything in your life? Or are you trying to have a solid foundation? Okay, so what I'm seeing for you is that do not leave things up to the wheel of fate. All right, do not give anything to fate right here to try to balance out the scales for you. You have to do it with your own hard work and your own effort. With this Five of Cups, this represents, emotional lackluster situations, emotionless. But what you're not seeing is the Two Cups that are behind you. The Two Cups that are behind you are fulfilling. They will get you through this journey, okay? You have the Four of Pentacles and the Star. You need to hold on to your resources. There is a transitional shift within your life. You're moving forward. So I feel like once you move past this, trying to give everything up to the fate and the stars and whatever, and start focusing on what you're meant to do on this earth, by allowing the emotions to pour out, by not giving into the base desire of the anxiety of I'm missing out, I want to be just like these people, understanding who they are at their core essence. Here's the thing. If you're not going to make a relation or a business out of a relationship, then don't try to, idolize social media people, all right? If you want a solid foundation, move away from that. Don't base your ideologies off of that. If you're trying to look for a good solid job opportunity, don't base yourself off of fantasies and movies, all right? Anything that's like CIA, FBI is actually not like it is in the movies. Anything in the legal system is not like it is in the movies. Walk away from the fantasy and the idealism of it and look at it for what it actually is. And then once you see things for what they actually are, say, okay, well, maybe that's not actually my dream. I'm just going to let those pour out. I do have these things over here. They do fit my ideas of what I want. I'm going to hold on to those, and I'm going to move quickly into this new starlight energy. I'm going to say, this is the actual path that I'm supposed to be on. How can I get to the next point within my life, the next star, the next part of the constellation that is me? The Ace of Swords coming out. The Queen of Swords. You need to really use your logic and discernment right here. When I see the Queen of Swords, I feel like I'm on the right path as the reader telling you what you need to do. Stop looking at ideals, all right? Start looking at reality. Stop looking at the ideal relationship based off of TV. Stop looking at the ideal job based off of fantasy. Stop looking at ideas that you see that are around you and, surround you. Because those are all glamour. Those are all things to make you lust after that, like the devil energy, okay? To make you continuously fall in this loop. For example, a lot of people after they go to law school and they become lawyers, they're really kind of bewildered by how boring it is, how hard it is to get work, how it's nothing like they do in social media. Hold on. Sorry, I got a notification for a video that was uploading. And they see things for what they actually are. And that's what I'm saying for you, okay, Libra, is that you need to understand for yourself and use logic and discernment. Are things as clear and crystal as they're supposed to be? A lot of people spend money on degrees that they don't actually want. They want it for an idea, a concept, and a feeling, but ultimately it kind of leaves them lackluster. And I feel like because you maybe know this, you're trying to leave things up to fate. Fate is telling you right here, Libra, is that don't leave things up to chance on the Wheel of Fortune, all right? Actually look in depth at certain things, at what you want. Don't just take the thing that comes in, because there are a lot of opportunities that are always going to roll into your life. That happens to everyone. But look at each thing that you truly desire. And if it doesn't match what you want, then sometimes you have to let it go. You think, oh man, I really wish it was like that in the movies. But understand that that's the fantasy that they're trying to sell you, okay? So with this Queen of Swords, I see things working out for you. You using your logic and your discernment, you peering through situations, moving quickly onto your starlight energy. Stop giving things to the Wheel of Fortune. Stop idolizing, romancing, the devil. Seeing things for what they truly are. Rising above that with the Hanged Man. And, this Ace of Swords, it's going to come in. It's the same sword that the Queen of Swords is holding, right? And if you notice, they're both holding it with the right hand, representing the right hand path, because Libra is a masculine sign, even though she's a female, right? Still represented by masculine energy. You have to choose the right hand path to see things from a higher perspective, because you are the scales, okay? So maybe it's saying get out of your head. Get out of, TV, get out of the internet. Only focus on things that are actually based in solid evidence and facts right here, because that's how you win like a court case. It has to have solid evidence. It's not like, well, based off of what I feel. No, it's based off of the evidence presented. So with the Skull of Stars, Infinite Possibilities, and the Werewolf, Exploring Wildness, you're exploring different avenues within your life. You're saying, okay, there are all these possibilities, and I'm going to explore all of them. I'm going to look in depth. I'm going to see the red flags. If there are red flags, I'm not going to take it. If there are green flags, then yeah, maybe that is for me. Oh, I don't like this because it has green flags, but it's ultimately something that would make me feel kind of lackluster. Then I'm just going to leave it to the side, go on to something else. Oh, this has green flags. It's something that makes me feel fulfilled. It's actually something that I could work on and work with. Okay, maybe I'll work on that. Like you're taking into account, you have this consolidation period. You're starting to say, these things don't serve me, but these things do. And then looking at the things that do serve you and saying, okay, well, these 5 things don't, but these 3 things do. So let's look at your, what are these? I'm trying to think of the Awaken Oracle. I got another message. I don't know, something about checks, running checks in the background. We have Mystery and we have Reflect, Awaken Oracle cards. So reflect on the situation, okay? What you need to understand right here is you need to really reflect on things within your life. Reflect on the mysteries. Why do they make you happy? Are they based in reality? Are they fake? Okay? There are a lot of mysteries that are around you, Libra, but with logic and discernment, you can pierce through the mysteries behind them and see the truth. And then reflect on the truth that you know. And stop leaving things up to just chance and fate. You do have to put in your own work. Sometimes people say, well, whatever's meant for me is meant for me. But here's the thing with Libra, what is meant for you? You could go down all these different avenues and just try them all out. Or you can say, you know what, I'm tired of doing that. I want to get serious with my life. I'm going to put in hard work and effort. And that's what people oftentimes forget. For example, People say whatever comes into my life is what I'm going to take. That's obviously meant for me. That's not the case. Now, if you look and you say, this is what I want to do, now I'm looking for the opportunities, and the opportunity rolls around because that's something that you actually want and it's truly what you desire, that is something that is, you know, the wheel of fortune, the wheel of fate moving you, not the other way around. So let's look at your spellcasting oracle cards. We have justice, balancing out the situation, and passion. You gotta differentiate between passion and reality sometimes, okay? And you have to have balance right there, all right? Just because it looks so cool in the movies or so cool on paper or they seem so in love, you know, you have to really understand, are people playing off of your emotions or is that how they truly feel about you? And use justice right here. Actually use the scales to balance out situations because remember, the Queen of Swords, she is kind of an attorney or a judge working under justice, tempering the situation of passion. And don't give in to like a crime of passion. We have be community. Hold on. We have be community. And this could represent people within your everyday surroundings. Maybe you need to pay attention to these people. Maybe you need to talk to them. Maybe you need to get out of your head. Start talking to other people. See what they're doing with their lives. Seeing how, you know, other people's lives are functioning. And you have frog, creativity. Focus on your creativity right here. See what you can do for the community. Okay, maybe you just need to throw your artistic passion and what you know how to do and help other people that are around you or who are around you. Okay, use your creativity to help build the community right here. Maybe that's what you're missing within your life. Maybe you're not actually missing anything. Maybe you're just wondering, what is my purpose? Well, your creativity, what you have, your skills, your talents, your abilities, use them to help people, okay? Teach people. If you have knowledge, then teach them. Engage with people. Talk to them. You have Tewaz, authority, justice, passion, drive, and victory. Spiritual meaning, the greater good, and righteousness. So definitely double clarification of justice. Justice and passion. Wow. Wow. So this card has the words justice. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh. Well, justice is right here in passion, I think. Yeah, justice and passion. And then we have justice and passion right here. Don't give in to a crime of passion if you're thinking about that. The greater good and righteousness. So I'm actually going to pull some cards on this for you in just a second. Let me get you a rune card. You have Fehe. Achieve a goal, attract money, succeed in business, attain a promotion or a new job. What is this justice and passion energy? Five of Knives, Ace of Skulls, and the Six of Knives. Understanding you get something out of a situation and then you're mentally supposed to move on from it. That's the justice of something. If you made a situation, like if you got a job and you only wanted it for so many months to get you out of a bind, and it got you out of the bind, then it's time for you to like cut that situation out and move on with your life. You got what you wanted, now mentally move away. All right? The passion is there, but that's the justice of the situation. You got what you needed, you got the passion out of the situation, you got the Ace of Pentacles, now mentally move on. Six of Cups and the Star. And the stars will nourish you, okay? The stars are coming down to help you right here, but it does require you to mentally start figuring out what is your goal, what is your next step within your life, what actually drives you here, Libra. All right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.